Hope y'all having a great day. Before we get into this video, I just want to say, go join my clan. Y'all will be able to join the community and be a part of a group of talented players who can give you advice and feedback. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be going over the ultimate Sparky guide in Clash Royale. So this is going to be with the vines, so this might be a little outdated in the future, but I will make sure to make an updated version when Rage comes back in. And I'm going to be showing replays in this video instead of my games because I think replays will give me a better time telling you my thought process, and also I play better when I'm not recording. So I'll be able to show you everything. This is the first game against a minor wall breakers deck. And also I am currently top 3,000 in the world, so you know it's coming from the right person. This guy is a little bit underleveled, but minor wall breakers is always going to be a hard counter. Pretty much, especially if they have rocket. So, I always start cycling a Dark Prince in the back. Cycling a Dark Prince in the back is almost always the right play. A little bit better is zapping the tower. And in this situation, I start to make split lane pressure, because against these wall breaker decks, I really like to make split lane pressure, especially when they play a tank into my Sparky, and I'm able to pressure on both lanes. And, of course, get the vines off there. And because of the split lane pressure and the added defense, he had to defend my Sparky extra, I was able to get a lot of damage on the right hand side. So those are some pretty bad skeletons from that guy. I just have a good zap there. I get a Dark Prince out, and I'm pretty sure I remember this game. I win pretty easily. But against minor wall breakers, you always want to be, usually you want to be going opposite lane as well, at least sparking into the opposite lane, because you don't want them to get poison value, and especially not rocket value. If they have a rocket, then you're not going to want to be playing Sparky the back, obviously. You're going to want to playing Goblin Giant the back, and then getting a split lane push in the other lane. Now here I go all in because my opponent is down on Elixir. But he has the Evo wall breakers, which is, you're pretty much never going to get damage when your opponent has Evo wall breakers in cycle, because they are super good at defending your pushes and just a very powerful tool against you. Now, I think I Sparky the back here. Usually when my opponent plays a card in the back and I can just get a free Sparky, I will. That was a really bad minor for my opponent. I don't know what that was about. See, I give him the little emote too. I'm definitely going to be a little toxic in some of these games, because I'm never toxic when I'm recording, but if someone, I mean, normally I'm really not toxic at all, but if someone is BMing me at the start, then I will definitely start BMing them back. And here we just get a nice little push going, and I think we just take it because I think he just gives up there. But I gave some good tips against minor wall breakers here, and now let's get into the next replay. Getting into the second replay here against Kakashi. Now this is going to be how to beat Graveyard Witch. Now ever since the Furnace got nerfed, Graveyard players have been replacing it with the Evo Witch, and it is a much worse matchup for Sparky ever since they added the Evo Witch back. Because the Evo Witch counters Sparky, and Sparky counters the Furnace pretty well. So it's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. And in this game, against this matchup, you always want to have a Sparky in one lane and then go Goblin Giant mini pekka at the other lane, because it is very hard for them to defend both sides at once. Like this push here that I have. This is an example of a perfect starting push. Now, since they have the Witch instead of the Furnace, your Sparky gets less value, but it's still a good idea, because the Sparky will almost always take out the Witch, and now he's still going to have to defend the Sparky, and I'm going to be at a very good Elixir advantage here. Either that or my Sparky will just take the tower because of the split lane pressure. And I think in this game I do get a couple Sparky shots off, because see, he has 0 Elixir right now. And I take the tower pretty easily. Now in this matchup, you need to be saving the Mother Witch at all times. You almost never want to Mother Witch the back first play, because there is a good chance your opponent is playing Graveyard. You know, Murphy's Law, if you Mother Witch the back, they're going to Graveyard Bard Barrel the other side first play. So, and against a Witch, you usually just want to Sparky the back, because your Princess Tower will kill the skeletons so that your Sparky will shoot the Witch. And it's just pretty nice overall having that happen. I guess if they Graveyard, the only bad thing is that the Witch will splash onto the tower, so you normally want to be playing your Sparky maybe one tile to the right or one tile up when you do Sparky the back after they witch, so that it doesn't splash your tower. And he misses his vines here on the Sparky somehow. I think it might have hit a pig instead of the Sparky. But here, in this situation, I don't want to be giving anything up, and I'm just playing very defensively, very passively, waiting for him to make the first move. And that's how you normally want to be playing when you're up a tower. It's a little bit awkward with Sparky, because normally you want to be building up pushes with Sparky the back, but it's bad to do Sparky the back when you're up a tower, because you could just throw the game away if they push opposite lane. Now here I go in, because I already have a Sparky down. He already has a couple of... Because he already has put troops coming into my Sparky, it's safe for me to go the other lane. Because see, his troops that are going into my Sparky will just die, not giving him any value. And I think he just goes for like the Barbarial Graveyard here, but there's no chance that he has anymore. So that is going to be a good second game, second replay, and I will see y'all in the next matchup. In the next matchup against Pekka Goblin Giant. Now this is going to be a matchup that a lot of you are probably looking forward to. Sparky does do very nice against the Pekka Goblin Giant, but if I see the Chef Tower ever, I do not make the first play if I have Sparky in hand. Or I might Dark Prince the back if I have Sparky in hand, but other than that, normally if you don't have Sparky in hand, you have to cycle to a Sparky as quickly as possible. And I think I do BM this guy a little bit, because I was so pissed at playing in so many Pekka Goblin Giant players. I give him the well played because he went Pekka the back first play. And now that Pekka Goblin Giant players are running the Vines instead of the Goblin Curse, the matchup has become a whole lot harder, and it's actually become winnable for the Pekka Goblin Giant players. Now, I went Mini Pekka there because I was scared he was going to Vines, and he did Vines, but luckily it didn't do too much. Now, normally you won't be able to get any damage, and you might take a little bit of damage like I do here, but you always just want to be playing passively and not making the first move in this matchup. You can see I'm up so much elixir here, but I'm still just not going to push, because if I do anything here, he just Pekkas and gets a incredible counter push that will win him the game. But I do Dark Prince the back, and of course he Pekkas. I think I give him the well played again. And then just Sparky is an easy play. You always want to Sparky into anything they play, even a bomber I'll Sparky into. And, of course, the brain-dead Goblin Giant players will just Goblin Giant the other side. I just save the Mini Pekka for the Goblin Giant at all times, pretty much. And I think I just ignore these minions because I know that I'm up so much elixir, and I'm going to have such a good counter push that he's not going to be able to defend. And it's almost guaranteed to take his tower. Because I'm up so much elixir, I can just go all in. And he doesn't even defend it because he knows he's going to lose his tower off of it. I give him the well played again. It's so funny. I get a nice Vines on his Bomber, King Tower, and Goblin Giant, or Goblin Machine. And I just start pushing because I'm thinking I might be able to 3-crown this guy, but that was a bad play on my end to go all in like that. Even though I'm up so much elixir, you don't want to be going all in when you're up a tower because you don't want to throw away the game. And this is an easy defense here. You want to be kiting minions with a Mega Minion. I've actually started playing the minions as of late instead of the Mega Minion because so many people play Vines, and Vines are worse against the minions because with the Mega Minion it'll always pull it down, but with the minions, it'll only pull down 1 or maybe 2, but it'll still get more value. But this is a good game here, and I will see y'all in the next matchup. Getting into the next matchup here against Golem Prince. Now, normally they'll have the Chef Tower or Elixir Pump, but I feel like this is the most common version of Golem nowadays. With the Electro Dragon, now this is funny, this guy gives me the oops when I play my Sparky straight into his Electro Dragon, but the Vines actually makes this matchup a whole lot easier. And I kite this. I'm not able to kite the Lumberjack, unfortunately. So I'm going to take a whole lot of damage here, but I know I take his tower, at least. So, against this matchup, when they play a Golem in the back, you really want to have Mini Pekka and Sparky in hand. And you need to Mini Pekka the bridge when they play Golem in the back. And then once you get up to 10 elixir, then you Sparky the back when the Golem is maybe halfway up the tower, so that the Sparky never goes like past your princess tower. You never want your Sparky to go above your princess tower because there's a good chance that they will have Electro Dragon Lightning, or sorry, Electro Dragon Tornado or Lightning, and you don't want to be giving them lightning value or allowing them to Electro Dragon Tornado your Sparky. And other than that, you really just need to be playing reactively. Like if they Golem, I know I get a really good kite here. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think I give him the oops here. Oh no, I just that emote. That's like my favorite emote. But if they go Golem back and you don't have mini Pekka in hand, a second best play would just be Goblin Giant the back in the other lane, and then still save up for the Sparky in the same way that you would with the mini Pekka. So you basically just want to be pressuring when they play a Golem, and then sparking into the Golem once you get up to 10 elixir. That is the main way you're going to beat Golem, and just the best way to play against it overall. And I mean, that's really all there is to say. A well-timed vines to, I think I get one here, a well-timed vines to splash onto their Electro Dragon and Golem is like the best thing that you can do. I think right here, I keep giving the oops, because he gave me the oops at the beginning, and I thought it was pretty funny. Let me see. See that? See how I used the vines when they were right next to each other, and he goes for the Electro Dragon there. Luckily, my the Golem actually makes it explode backwards, and he just this is a very good game against Golem, kind of destroying it, but you can see and hear how I tell you to beat it, and just pressure when they play Golem, play Sparky the back, and you will pretty much just win every time, unless they outplay you somehow. But yeah, I'll see you on the next replay. The next matchup we have is Lava Hound. Now this is the most basic Lava Hound deck, and the one that's currently the best in the meta. It's Minor Lava Loon. Now against this matchup, if they go Lava Hound the back, then you always need to go Goblin Giant in the back in the other lane, and then build up a push behind it. Because Lava Hound players are almost always only going to have 2 ground troops. So if you know that those 2 ground troops aren't in cycle, you can go mini Pekka at the bridge. Sometimes I will even go Sparky at the bridge. And if they don't have any ground troops in hand, like if this is their hand, like look at his hand right now, if that's their hand, then my Sparky is guaranteed to get a hit on tower. Like his hand is Inferno Dragon, Arrows, Balloon, Baby Dragon. He can't defend the Sparky like that, as long as I have a zap for the Inferno Dragon. And you can see here, I'm able to take his tower because he doesn't have any ground cards in hand. He only has the Minor and the Barbarians. And another thing, you need to play your Mother Witch when they don't have their Minor in cycle. That is another big thing about playing against Lava Hound. You need to be playing Mega Minion when they do have their Minor in cycle, and you need to be playing Mother Witch when they don't have their Minor in cycle. So you need to be keeping track of their cycle and knowing when the best time to play it. But the overall best thing to do against Lava Loon is to always Goblin Giant the back in the opposite lane of their Lava Hound. Like, look at this. I think he's going to play Lava Hound when I don't. I guess we'll see what he does. I go just mini Pekka the bridge because I want to get those Barbarians out. Does he just give up? There's no way, right? Okay, I guess he just gives up. I kind of forgot that this guy just gave up. But anyway, I'm going to keep this in the video because I think I just gave those good tips against Lava Hound. That's what you have to do. I'll go see if I can find another Lava Hound matchup that I did. But let's get on to the next matchup. Getting into the next matchup here, and this one is going to be against Hog 2.6. Now, I know a lot of y'all are probably playing this deck all the time, and it's a pretty even matchup. I would say around 50-50. You need to... Now, the main thing about playing against Hog Rider is you need to have your mini Pekka in cycle for their Hog Rider, and you need to be getting a good mini Pekka timing every time. Because if you don't get a good mini Pekka timing, then you are going to take a hog hit every time. And there, as you can see, a good thing against Hog 2.6 is they are very predictable. Every Hog 2.6 players will go skeletons in the middle, like, I don't know if I can click it. No, I can't. But, like, in the middle top between their 2 towers. And I can almost always hit a prediction zap on it And it is so satisfying just watching that mini Pekka go to the tower. I don't know if I hit it in this game, but I guess we'll see. So you want to be cycling Sparky in the back in the same lane as they're pushing, because you want to be able to hit a Hog Rider. That's your preferred option. And you want to have the zap and cycle after your mini Pekka, because you want to be able to hit those skeletons that they have. And I think it's probably best for me, yeah. I don't play anything into my Sparky here because he already has a cannon up, and he's going to be up so much elixir if I add on to that push that it's just not a good idea overall. I think that was a pretty bad Hog Rider. Just Vines would easily counter that. And against Hog Rider, it's a pretty easy matchup as long as you have a good cycle with mini Pekka for their Hog Rider, and you have just good knowledge of their cycle and what they're going to do. I think I just Sparky the Back. Sparky the Back is always a good play against most Hog decks because they're not going to have a Rocket. Fireball is not going to be a good option in single elixir for them. And here I'm going to create some dual lane pressure because, oh, maybe not. I thought I would because he put the Musketeer there, but I guess I don't. It'd probably have been best for me to do that. And I get a really good Vines here, and he puts down a crappy Hog Rider. Like probably the worst Hog Rider I've ever seen. And I think we're just able to not quite win here, but we are up so much elixir at this point. And now, since I'm up so much elixir, when you know you have an elixir advantage like that, you just have to spam them just forever. Just spam as hard as you possibly can. Because, as you can see there, I was up, like, I had like 10 elixir and he had 0. So I was able to just play Goblin Giant Mini Pekka at the bridge and easily take the game. And that's going to be it for this matchup, and I will see y'all in the next one. Getting into the next matchup here against Recruits Piggies. Now, against this matchup, if you can take a tower, you will win every time because your defense is super good against them, while their offense is not very good against you. But same goes other way. It's easy for them to defend if they have recruits in cycle. What you need to be doing is you need to be getting recruits out of cycle with the Sparky, and then pushing when they don't have recruits in cycle. And you also want to be, if they play recruits in the back first play, Sparky in the back is always best, followed by a Mother Witch in the other lane. And see how I kited it there? The reason that I kited there is because he had so many troops, and there was no way that I could have defended with just a mini Pekka. I needed that Dark Prince to kick in and help. And that is a very nice defense there. I do take equal damage on both sides, but that mini Pekka is going to get so much value. And you can see there, I was able to make a push when he did not have recruits in cycle, and it took his entire tower. Now, that is the main thing you want to be doing. And once you take a tower, your defense is incredibly easy, and you just have to play very reactively, not push or anything, and just wait for them. You want to be having your Dark Prince in cycle for their piggies at all times. Make sure that you never lose it. And if you have to play your Dark Prince, get ready with a prediction Sparky. Because if you can time when they're going to play their piggies, you can take 0 damage and be up like 11 elixir after that. So I get a nice Vines there to take his flying machine down and get a lot of damage on his tower. Now, this is not the normal Recruits deck. They have the Lightning instead of the Fireball and the Golden Knight instead of the... Oh, what do they normally have? It's, Oh, what is it? Oh, man, I can't remember. Zappies, I think. Does he not have Zappies? No, he definitely has Zappies, right? Yeah, he does. I guess arrows. I guess he has instead of the arrows. Because normally they would have double spell. Now, I do lose a tower there, unfortunately. That's sometimes going to happen. Your defense is really good, though, so you shouldn't normally be losing a tower. But he's down so much elixir here that I'm able to just make a really nice push to take his entire tower. You need to know when they have Evo Goblin Cajun cycle as well. And when they have Evo Goblin Cajun cycle, you can't be going in for a big push with your Goblin Giant. And yeah, that's going to be it for this matchup, and I will see y'all in the next one. Getting into the final replay here against Hog Exinado. Now, I think this is going to be the last one for the video. I'm not able to get to log bait, unfortunately. So I will be releasing a second part to the Sparky Guide where I will be going over even more matchups when I get more replays of it, because these are just from my recent replays folder. So against Hog Exinado, you are almost never going to be playing Sparky because he has Rocket. And what you need to be doing is getting their Executioner out of cycle and building up a push split lane. Against Hog Exinado, you have to be playing ultra aggressive, playing stuff at the bridge all the time, trying to predict their goblins. That is the main thing. You need to be Mother Witching their goblins, because their goblins are the most annoying part of the deck. Because you don't have, your zap can't kill them. And you can see here, I'm just going to go all in the other lane. Now, it's not a very good play because he can just kite over to the other side. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because if he wasn't able to kite there, he would have just lost. But it was a good kite on his end, and now I'm down a lot of elixir. Luckily, the vines will just bail me out. Vines are basically just a get out of jail free card. And that was a bad tornado, so now we're pretty much equal on elixir. So, as I was saying, you're going to be playing super aggressively, unless they have lightning, because some Hog Exinado players will be playing lightning instead of Rocket, in which case you'll be able to play Sparky and get a good split lane push going to not give them lightning value. So you can see I'm just constantly Goblin Gianting the back, and I'm trying to bait out his Executioner so that I can go in on the other lane. And mini Pekka Mother Witch is almost always going to be a good play. I think here I'm probably not going to get any damage. That you need to get them to play their Executioner on the side so that it can't be attacking both lanes. Yeah, and I get another Vines here. Vines are so good. And he gets a very nice tornado there. That's something you got to be watching out for. The Hog Exinado players will be using the Nado to bring stuff in for the Exi all the time. But you always just want to be setting up a push with Goblin at the back. And here, I'm definitely just going to be split laning. And always trying to predict the Mother Witch with trying to predict their goblins with my Mother Witch. Unfortunately, I get a bit of a bad timing there because he puts the Evo Valk down the second that I get the Mother Witch going. But I do get some Goblin Giant damage, and this is almost always going to be a close game against Hog Exinado. And you can see here, I know I have an elixir advantage, so I think I go in all in the other lane. No, I don't go all in the other lane. I thought I would. I instead decided to build up a push, which is honestly probably a better idea than going all in the other lane. So I'm going all in this lane, and I'm going to have a Vines for his Executioner. And if you want to see a really good video of game against Hog Exinado, go check out the second game in my previous YouTube video. It's just actually the best game I've ever played against Hog Exinado. But as you can see, we just completely overwhelm him because he doesn't have any good counters after we kill the Executioner, and that's how you want to be playing against it. And that's going to be it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the second part of the Sparky Guide, where I will be going over even more matchups and maybe even improving some in this video, so stay tuned.